in the end, if you think about a VBET at all, is actually a bootstrapping incubator program or platform for any new developers. So I would say the VeChain ecosystem is the best platform to be a startup.
Greetings, Sunny. We're here to discuss the evolutions around the VeChain environment. And I was wondering if first you could try to sum up what is the current state of the VeChain ecosystem and what are the main building blocks of this ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, nice to meet you here. VeChain has been, let's say, following up the three white paper journey, and we're on the third stage right now. So the first stage is about, in 2017, launched the ICO, building up the ecosystem, the platform, as an infrastructure first. And then 2019 was, let's say, focused on the enterprise adoption, building the different type of applications like, food safety for Walmart, BYD, H&M, different type of sustainability projects. And also in 2023, we released the third white paper, which is the current stage we call Web3 for Better, and focus on, building up a sustainability application system. And last year, we launched the VBetter DAO as a new ecosystem to motivate individuals to do better actions, make a better choice on a daily basis. And so far, runs, let's say, I would say in a good status. VBetter DAO just reaches 2.7 million users, accumulative 20 million actions from people. So far, there are 40 applications. And we're exploring, the business models and merging the enterprise adoptions. Meanwhile, this year, we're also launching the most important upgrades in the history. We call VeChain Renaissance. And actually, just in a few days, we're going to launch the first platform along with the first upgrade. The Stargate as a platform, Galactica as a phase one to implement just on the July 1st, 4 or 5 days later. So that's basically the current status of the VeChain. In terms of application level, it's focused on sustainability applications. In terms of the protocol and tokenomics, follow up the VeChain Renaissance upgrades. Yeah, so that's a rough situation right now.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit more about the purpose of the Stargate Upgrade?
Yeah, sure. It's let's say first step of a VeChain Renaissance upgrades. Like I mentioned, it's not only for, let's say, technical protocol level, but also the tokenomics upgrades. Generally speaking, the purpose of launching the entire upgrades and also the Stargate is actually try to enable the real decentralization. Let's say decentralization sits in the top line of, being a crypto, being a blockchain projects. But in reality, the decentralization is pretty hard because most of the users doesn't have the technical capability to run the different type of, validators, right? Mm-hmm. Setting up the server, run node, maintain it's not that easy. Let's put it this way. So what we do is we comes up a novel design using the NFT to do a staking model or to enable the inclusive adoption for decentralization. So simply to say, user can stake the VET into trust-free smart contracts, mint the different level of NFT based on the staking amount, and then use NFT to delegate to as a delegator to choose a different validator to bind, to connect, to support without giving up the control of your staking assets. So simply to say, the solution, the NFT staking solution will enable normal people or ordinary people, as long as you know how to play NFT, to participate in network security, receive protocol rewards, which doesn't need to go through any kind of a middleman. So sweeping technical barriers, that's one thing, but also providing attractive real, the real rewards. Let's say we have a different type of level. Along with validator could be from 10 to 15% of APY. The delegator also could up to 10 to 12%, based on the dynamic situation of the networks. Also, following, the regulation compliance, whatever the MiCA defined. By the way, VET and VSO just got MiCA compliance in March this year, and we're working on the third token. But also even following the SEC guidelines in terms of yield, in terms of real rewards. Though that's basically the fundamental line to launch the VeChain Renaissance upgrades as also Stargate.
Okay, so the more NFT you stake, the bigger your authority in the network is to validate the transaction. I mean, is that some kind of hierarchy that gets put in place?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so how do you accumulate this NFT, and how do you grow your stake?
There are 10 different level of NFT. Aligning with the existing Xnode and EcoNode program. Basically, if you are the EcoNode and Xnode holders, you just need to swap the new level of new NFT. You are able to, good to go. You are able to participate the protocol level. Or if you are a new joiner, you don't have any Xnode and EcoNode as well, but you can start to mint 7 different levels of EcoNode to just stake the VAT into a dedicated smart contract. And then you will be able to mint the NFT out and participating, the consensus level to, also use the Stargate platform to start the staking, getting the rewards. And also anytime you wanted to stop, you can just, stop the staking, unstake your VAT out. But meanwhile, at the same time, you're returning back or destroying your NFT to complete the user journey.
Okay, so in the end, it's deflationary.
Yes.
Okay, and so you move from a proof of work to proof of stake in the process of joining the.
The current consensus is proof of authority, which is only have, let's say, 101 validators to be, let's say, to secure the network, to maintain the consensus. But in the future, there will be 101 validators plus, could be up to 500,000 delegators using the different NFT with a different level of VET staking to, participating the consensus together. So we call it delegate, like a weighted delegator POS.
Okay, so scalability is really guaranteed over time.
Yes.
Okay. Sustainability has always been one of the key pillars of the VeChain project. Is it still something that you want to expand to your work on? I mean, practically, what does that mean for the application around this ecosystem?
Yeah, 100% yes. Sustainability is our focus. Following the latest white paper, Web3 for Better, we stick on that. And also, like I mentioned, we launched the ecosystem VBetter DAO, which is a DAO ecosystem to foster different type of builders. Could be from the small startup, individual developers, to be big corporations. Those players, builders are able to build the different type of decentralized applications to incentivize people to do better actions, make a better choice on daily basis, which we believe that's a low-hanging fruits for blockchain or crypto for real utility and also for mass adoptions, right? I'll give you a couple of examples. For example, like the most popular application, Markshaw and the Green Card, they're, let's say, coming from the small startup or even individual developers. They incentivize people to drink coffee with recycled mug other than paper cups, or you shop greenly, or like, stay more with fruits and vegetables, organic products, recycled products, using the, recycled bag other than the plastic disposable bags. So those type of actions, we incentivize people to do. So far, both of the application actually achieved more than 1 million users already. We're still growing. The second type of application, aligning with the big corporation integrations. For example, like EVN, which we get the authorization from Tesla system, different to be able to use the Tesla APIs. So that means the user, as long as you have a Tesla account, you own a Tesla car or drive a Tesla car, you can use your Tesla account to log in the EVN, to use the EVN to get rewards by every charging station. Every charging session, you will get the rewards right away. And so far, the application runs pretty well, even with the limited users, not like, the first two over 1 million users. They have thousands of the user, but the user retention rate is about 100%. So that means once you start to use that, every week you use this, right? And also this week, we launched together with the UFC to have a new application join the VBetterDAO ecosystem, which is you can consider as that's a UFC application in the VeChain ecosystem. To represent the big corporation could also, join the ecosystem to incentivize. Actually, the application we launched is so-called BYB, Build Your Body. So basically, you can, work out anytime you want in your office, in the airport, in the hotel, or whatever, in your home, and you just use a camera from your application to capture your motion, your action motion. You can do a squat, you can do jump jacks. Then you get the rewards right away. So actually, we got multiple fighters, strikers from UFC Power Slap to setting up the leading examples to work out, to build up that kind of workout culture for the user, for human capital. So generally speaking, in summary, there are multiple different applications are doing different type of sustainability focus, incentivize people. So it could be a small startup individuals, or you could be work with the big corporations, or even the traditional enterprise come to build the application on their own. So yes, the sustainability is our focus, and we're going to stick on that.
Okay, I understand. You are aware that ESG has become some kind of controversial theme, especially in the United States. So how do you see your ecosystem coping with that?
I think it's matching perfectly. We have been Dana White as a UFC president joining us for official advisor. So we talk about this kind of the direction all the time. Actually, I agree with him as well. Sometimes ESG becomes weaponized or greenwashed weapons, let's say, or tools for some situation, which is pretty bad. But what we do, the VeChain or let's say the entire ecosystem is try to do let's say the sustainability implementation different than the usual practice coming from ESG. ESG basically, is a top-down strategy, coming from the Wall Street, coming from the big corporations, try to do a different type of projects. I'm not saying like it's not really effective, but generally speaking, the public or the people are having, or let's say having a disappointment sometimes for the results, for the let's say implementation formats. Top-down strategy doesn't really work, honestly.
Okay,
And
so it's more Yeah, sorry.
yeah, what we do is actually different. Is bottom up. Starting from people, incentivize people to do good actions from what you can do at your convenience on daily basis, and then summarize to have a collective impacts and the results. So what I'm trying to say is we're doing differently, and I believe it's a perfect match for the traditional ESG implementations. So allowing getting the individual users to work with big corporations together, I think we will drive the different result coming from sustainability angles.
Okay. If I want to join the community of VeChain developer, how can you help me?
We have multiple different levels. Firstly, we do have a dev rail a dedicated technical people and team to be ready to answer any kind of questions. Also, we have quite a regular posts over the X.com and also our website to share the tips and ideas how to build, how to do engineer, how to do a developer work on the VeChain blockchain. And also on the second tier, we do have a grant program, which is, let's say, incentivize people to follow the guidelines, follow the training documents, technical documents, to build a different type of application to eventually join VBET and also VeChain ecosystem. And on top of that, we do have a special grant program we call the BCG consultation. So, we work with the BCG together to go to market together. And so BCG could select some very high-performing, high-quality applications to work with the startups and even individual developers to explore the different type of business models, how to go to market strategy, even bring the partnership together to continue to grow the applications. And on top of those three levels, in the end, if you think about a VBET is actually a bootstrapping incubator program or platform for any new developers. So I would say the VeChain ecosystem is the best platform to be a startup.
Okay. You mentioned 2.7 million users at this point in time. Can you give us a rundown on where they are geographically?
Actually, we do have the heat map of geographically the user coming from. I would say it's everywhere in the world. U.S., Europe, even Africa, Southeast Asia. It could let's say it really be like everywhere. Only except some, I would say sensitive geographical locations in the world, but basically everywhere in the world.
Okay, it's become quite key to lure institutional investors in order to be successful as a crypto project. I mean, is that one of your goals for 2025?
Yes. Well, not only 2025. Actually, we start the work from 2024 last year, and last year we do have a new joiner coming to join us, which is Johnny Garcia, who worked in Vanguard, Bitwise, that kind of the traditional TreeFi companies. And actually, he was the Bitcoin ETF product manager for Bitwise. So he knows this Wall Street pretty well. His institutional world pretty well. So we have an institution team led by Johnny Garcia to focus on the institution onboarding. Actually, in the coming few weeks, we're going to have quite a few institutions on board to be not only the investor, but also the validator. They wanted to invest the VAT and setting up the validator to join the network, getting the sustainable rewards. So it's more than just like buy and hold, but supporting long-term vision, supporting the entire ecosystem, building together with us.
Okay. Do you envision some IPO at some point in time, or it doesn't really make sense?
I would say everything
like
possible. Everything could be possible.
Okay. So what message, what final message would you like to share with the VeChain community for 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, well, I think 2025 is a very critical year for the entire crypto world. Firstly, the regulation becomes super, let's say, in a very unprecedented stage. Like the clarity of regulation becomes, the truth to every player in the crypto world. Not only like Europe has a MiCA, right? Very clear three-level classification of the different type of licenses, but also SEC from the United States also have a guidance starting from stablecoin, but getting more and more friendly and clarity of crypto regulations. So we have been, let's say, very close, study about it, keep monitoring, and also try to get into, license adoption in the main jurisdictions of the world. Like I mentioned, in March this year, we already got VAT and VSO compliant with MiCA through Central Bank of Ireland. And we're also working on the Better token MiCA compliance as well, and follow up the US regulation updates for sure. 2025 is a very critical year. And also following the conversations with different type of institutions, we get the clear message from the major institutional players in Wall Street, in Europe, in Southeast Asia, even Japan. They all asking for a real fundamentals for blockchain or crypto to create the real utility in the real world, and also for the real user growth for mass adoptions. So that's basically what VeChain has been doing. So I feel like very confident, very bullish for 2025. And the entire crypto market is going through a major shift or change, I would say, coming from narrative driven only to be a real utility driven, real adoption or user growth driven. So fundamental driven or deliverable driven is the main theme of this phase of, if we consider the entire crypto world. So that's exactly what VeChain has been doing. And I feel pretty confident and bullish about the results of VeChain in 2025.
Yeah, when you see the Bitcoin domination of the crypto sphere growing and growing, it feels like there's really a flight to quality where, I mean, the solid and useful project are going to really move up the ladder, and all the rest is going to disappear pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. The first, we would call the first 15 years in crypto, starting from 2009 or 2010, is first growth curve, which basically narrative driven, right? And now we're shifting to the second growth curve, will be focused on the utility, focused on the user growth, like building up the product people or user are really like to use on a daily basis. That will make it more sustainable and long-term value driven, that kind of application. So that's, it's not the first time in the human history. If you look at the internet, we have been through this type of stage change, but all for the growth of the entire crypto industries, the technology evolvement, application adoptions. So it's a good trend.
Okay, so 2025 is like 24 for the growth of the internet, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, thank you, Sunny, for your time, and good luck on your endeavors. And I hope we'll be talking and getting some update from you pretty soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.